Welcome back to the channel, guys. It's Erad, and so in today's video we are going to fill in some surveys here, because you may not know it, and I will put this in the description down below so you guys can also take part of these surveys. But CIG have put some surveys for us to talk about, to give them some feedback here about vehicles in Star Citizen. So that's definitely something that we are going to be doing here. I saw that in a Spectrum thread here, 3.24 live feedback for vehicle features, but also for vehicle balance. So I think, why wouldn't we be doing that together, right? So let's get started right now. Let us know how you would rate the overall states of the feature along with certain aspects. So please share your thoughts in the Spectrum thread. So how would you rate the current state of vehicle features here? The below questions will ask ratings on various features. If you have not tested the feature, you can also leave it blank. So the current state of vehicle features, I'll give it 2 stars. It's work in progress. It's gonna get better, but as of Star Citizen of 3.24, we're there, right? It's still left to be desired for a lot of ships. Sometimes not functional, buggy, so meh, right? What could be done to improve the current state of vehicle features? Well, a lot of vehicles are not up to gold standards, and also it seems that certain vehicles are missing functions that others have, like the MSR, which only has 1 entry, or the Aurora, which would look and fly better if it could have retractable wings, like the Scorpius, for example, right? How would you rate the current state of turret mechanics? Now, I'm so glad that they're asking about turrets as well. I like turrets mechanic. Yes, I'll give it a 3 out of 5. I think that they can be quite dangerous, but at the same time, I think that sometimes a bit janky and not really easy to hit target, especially at longer distances. How would you rate the states of missiles? Missiles are really hard to evade, I would say, and they don't do enough damage, right? So they need to be easier to evade, but when they hit, they should really make more damage than they currently do. So that's my opinion here on missiles. How would you rate the current state of AI pilot behavior? They are way too easy to kill, but when there's a lot of them and they swarm you, it's also quite a challenge as well. So it's a good 3 out of 5, but there's still room for improvement here. Oh, by the way, I need to change this here. Filling Star Citizen surveys here. Yeah, changing over there. How would you rate the current state of vehicle degradation? I love it. I love how ships lose parts. I love how they lose their engines, how they become harder and harder to fly. There's still room for improvements, right? Fire is coming in eventually further on the line, but I think that it's really fun and really immersive, so I'll give this one a 5 out of 5. How would you rate the current state of ship-to-ship refueling? I will give it only a 1 out of 5 here, because first, there's no need for ship-to-ship refueling. And then it's super hard to do, super janky. No one's doing that. I wish that they were NPCs that were doing that. Also, services with NPCs, so that we would really need to do that. We wouldn't need to beg for someone to come out there and bring in a ship. But I also wish that maybe we could have more reasons to do that. Maybe snub fighters should be using their fuel a little bit more, so that when we're doing operations with a large group, we would have more reasons to have also ship refueling. I tried to do that in the past, bringing Sigillian from Ultima Energy. I thought, hey, we're gonna have this operation here with lots of snub fighters. It would be great if we could have a starfarer to help us refuel ships. And in the end, we didn't even need to be refueled in 4 hours of gameplay. So that's why it only gets a 1 out of 5. How would you rate the current state of docking? Same, very janky here. Not easy to use at all. Just one, not easy to understand as well. So I just wish there were a little bit more of an automation process here when it comes to docking. So only 1 out of 5. How would you rate the current state of the capacitor system here? This is working quite well, so I'll give it a 4 out of 5. How would you rate the current state of the quantum travel mechanics? It's better, but I will not give it 5 because I think that sometimes it's still too reliant on how the server is working or not. So that's why here only 4 out of 5. How would you rate the current state of atmospheric flight? Sorry, it still needs a lot of work here. I loved the old VTOL system from Alpha 2.6. I know a lot of people didn't like it. I loved it. So I'll give it a 2 out of 5. It still feels too much like sometimes you're like a floating platform on top of everything else, and that doesn't feel so good. How would you rate the current state of the landing mechanics here? I think landing looks great, but we could use a landing radar, so only 4 out of 5. How would you rate the current state of HUD setup here? Well, the current state, it's not so great. It needs some improvements. That's coming up with Alpha 4.0. Any further suggestions on vehicle features here? I guess that we will have to wait for 4.0. But I think that if our ships could have less doors, it would be a little less annoying to walk inside. So I'm going to submit it right here. Thank you for submitting. But that's not all. We also have another one for vehicle balance. So let's do it right here. How would you share your current state with vehicle balance? I'm not happy with vehicle balance because every time we got a new ship, it's the best ship ever, it's so awesome, and then when we are using those ships after a couple of weeks or months, it gets nerfs, and I don't like that. What could be done to improve the current state of vehicle balance? Well, perhaps you should keep the ships as they were launched and not nerf them after a couple of weeks. That would be nice. That's the way I feel it. How would you rate the current state of ship handling and tuning here? I guess it really depends. Some of the ships feel great, but some of the ships, especially like the MSR, could be a little bit more maneuverable, I would say. Some ships are absolutely horrible to fly, so I guess it really depends on the ship. The current state of missile balance. No, missiles need to be easier to evade and need to be making more damage, something that I said in the previous part. How about countermeasure balance? Same. Countermeasures, they're not effective at all, in my opinion, so yeah. Current state of ESP tuning. I have no idea about what this is here, so I will leave it right here. The current state of ship speeds. I like them. I think this is great. Some people will hate master modes. I don't mind master modes. I like that some of the ships can go really fast. Like for example, the Saver Firebird. I have 1,400 meters per second. Some of the ships are a bit slower because they are heavier. So yeah, I like the idea of choosing my ship because I know that I'm gonna have to go fast. So that's pretty cool. How would you rate the current implementation of look ahead mode and head tracking? Yeah, this is actually something that's very useful. I use that quite often. And how about shield tuning? That's also something that's pretty good here. How would you currently state the ship weapon balance? Not so great here, especially distortion weapons. I think the distortion weapons were pretty cool because you could easily disable ships. That's not the case anymore. Now you have to make sure that there's no more shields, and then once the shields are down, that's when you can use your distortion guns. And I like the idea of using distortion guns to also get rid of shields more easily, but not necessarily kill ships. So they've done a pretty bad job here. Do you have any suggestion here for vehicle balance? I think that distortion weapons were great to remove shields and disable ships, but now they are not so useful anymore. All right, so that's what I have to say here. I will put the links to these surveys in the description down below. Please fill in those surveys. It's going to be super useful for CIG. That is all for this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you guys in the next one. Cheers.
Everything's way too intense. When I look at my boss, her eyes stare with insistence, and I feel much obliged to let it go for one last ride. And one more time I have to face, at long last it has come to an end. And one more time I have to pretend I am here to satisfy her demands. Now all I've got to do is unload it. Come on, just one more effort before I'm rotten to the core. Unload it, yeah, unload it, yeah, unload it, unload it. Come on, it is almost over. I just need to carry on, no time to roll over. The job is almost done, and I'm almost up for order, so I go on until there is none. I do that just to please her, and one more time I have to face. At long last it has come to an end, and one more time and it has to happen. No matter what, she won't listen. Now all I've got to do is unload it. Come on, just one more effort before I'm rotten to the core. Unload it, yeah, unload it, yeah, unload it, unload it. Oh yeah. And one more time I have to face. At long last it has come to an end. And one more time and it has to happen. No matter what, she won't listen. Now all I've got to do is unload